So I think Henry's biggest skill was simply his ability to travel with the ball at pace. It's what allowed him to turn nothing situations into immediate danger. It's what allowed him to score so many great solo goals. But he was so complete, and there's so many little nuances to his game beyond that. And today I just want to highlight one strange nugget or quirk was that every now and then he would just hit these perfect across the pitch 40-50 yard passes straight to a teammate.
On the other way to Henry, who himself spots Theo Walcott. Look at that for a pass. Wow.
He could do it with his weak foot as well. I mean, look at this pass to Bergkamp. I mean, is this Steven Gerrard, Pirlo? Like why is this in his locker? There's even examples from Monaco. He had this from a young age. It's not just switches of play. He's like putting people through on goal. It's in their path. What I find interesting about this is it's not typically what people associate with Henry, right? His prototype as a player is like, Mbappe, Rashford, that winger-striker hybrid type. But what I like about players like Henry and other like all-timer great talents is that they're actually so overflowing almost with ability. It like spreads into these other realms. I mean, you can't really box them as in a role or a profile. I especially like this clip because it shows like his absurd ball carrying to begin with.
Look at Henry's Olympian speed and almost balletic touch at times.
And then just like the switch of play that he hits so easily. Or this one, yeah, I know it's a charity match, but dude, it's still cool, okay? Flicks it up to himself, bangs it, and it just floats like perfectly to Del Piero's toe. Now, I'm absolutely not saying that Henry is one of the best passers of all time, that he had the weight of pass of a Mesut Ozil, or that he was like Gerrard, who could consistently hit the ball with all sorts of different fades and curls. But what stuff like this just reinforces to me is what Wenger and Bergkamp has said about Henry's talent. Now, I've used these quotes in a couple of videos before, but just a reminder.
Biggest talent ever maybe in football. Had everything you dream to have when you're a football player.
He's very special in every way. He doesn't really have weaknesses in his game. To come across a player like him, I think you can only do that once in every 100 years maybe.
And to be fair, when I first heard this stuff like maybe 10-15 years ago, it made me raise my eyebrows a bit. Like, you won't have a player like this for 100 years? Seems a bit much, no? But still, in the last couple of years I've been thinking about it, and it's like it actually kind of makes sense, because it actually doesn't make sense what Henry had as a package. Like, put aside that he's one of the best athletes ever, maybe even the best. Put aside his statistics, which is like unmatched in his era, but his goal catalog, which is absurd, his flair, his dribbling, but something just as small as he can do this, like fairly consistently. And there were so many little aspects to him like this that I could make videos on forever. And that's the thing, like just purely the range and variety of actions that Henry could pull off might genuinely be unmatched in history. There's actually virtually nothing he couldn't do. Like, there was no dimension or aspect to the sport that he couldn't access to a fairly high level, at least occasionally. Like most of the players, there is like something pretty big or integral that they just can't do. Luis Suarez, one of the best strikers ever, maybe the best of his generation. He's never running 100 meters in 11 seconds. He's never burning like quick players with unbelievable pace. Like, okay, take Henry's flick volley against United, right? I do wonder, like, how many players could pull that off?
Oh, you smelly man.
And when I say how many players could pull that off, I don't mean just as one action in a vacuum. I mean what it represents, the talent and ability it represents. How many people possess that? Like, think of the combination of abilities you need. I mean, firstly, just even the idea to do it. Then you have Dennis Irwin on your back, so you need to hold him off, have that strength. Then the technical ability and athleticism to flick it up, twist, and hit it all in one smooth motion, generate enough power in just the right dip. And it's not like he did this kind of thing just like once or twice in his career. He has so many of these moments, and in such a variety of ways. It's like under different circumstances, I really think Henry could have molded into a truly great player in all sorts of different roles and positions. I think he could have been a great playmaker if he just spent the time and under the right coach or whatever. He was already a great one, but I mean like a truly elite one. He probably could have been a great left back or center back. Now, obviously that's a waste of his talents, but it also goes back to like what Wenger said, that he felt there were aspects to his game that Henry didn't explore completely.
He used only 50% of his jumping power to score goals, because he could have been a tremendous header of the ball. He didn't fancy it too much, but he had aspects in his game that he didn't explore completely, you know?
I mean, just look at this. Like, if Neymar does this, people would be salivating, right? Like, what could this guy not do? And you know what? Now that I'm glazing it, let me just talk about this goal against Leeds for a minute. Bit of a tangent, but yeah, I know the first thing that jumps at people is the pace and the acceleration and the control he has at that pace. But this finish is unreal. He gets tripped here. Like, he's not just falling over, he actually gets actively tripped by Gary Kelly in a pretty sly way. But now most even world-class players here, I think, would lose their bearings, fall over, ask for a penalty, but this guy maintains control as he's flying. Look at how he contorts his body. It's like finesse and lift it past the keeper. Like, that is crazy at that pace. Like, bro, I've said this before, but legitimately, there's only one player I've watched extensively and truly just felt like, yeah, he's just straight up better than Henry, and that's Messi. I think the one thing you could maybe like throw at Henry talent-wise is that maybe he was too reliant on his athleticism. But actually, the more I think about this, the more I think that's actually true of everyone. Because actually, athleticism is not just pace and power. It's just about how you move your body. And once you start to lose aspects of that, and that kills literally everyone. You know, Neymar is washed today because he cannot move his body the way he used to. It bleeds into every facet of everything. You can't like cleanly separate technique and athleticism and IQ and stuff like that, you know? Like once Henry got stiffer, it wasn't just that he couldn't run past players at pace. There were just so many actions he couldn't pull off the same anymore. And you know what? With every day, I realized more and more that the players who maintain their longevity best aren't those who relied less on athleticism. I mean, Fabregas, who was never a great athlete, died once his legs were gone. No, the players who have the best longevity are those who can maintain a high enough percentage of their athleticism so that they don't completely fall off a cliff. You know, Giggs was still great at age 39 because he was doing yoga and he was blessed with great genetics. All right, yeah, just a bit of a rambling, ranting video about Henry, talent. Just some thoughts that were sort of rumbling in my head. I'll eventually make like a full proper compilation of like his playmaking and passing ability and stuff. All right, like the video and stuff. If you're new, check out some of my other videos, and yeah, see ya.